Welcome into Titan Game Day Morning, Week 7 edition here in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. It figures to be a spectacular day for a divisional game featuring the only two teams in football that are going against each other today with winning records. Titans and Colts is the matchup at Nissan Stadium. We're going to go through it together on this Sunday morning before I head over to Nissan Stadium for the rest of the afternoon. We have three keys to success that we have prepared for you, a couple of pretty impactful franchise records that could be broken, and an important game for the ability to put a divisional opponent to sleep before Halloween. We got a lot of ground to cover and not a lot of time to do it this morning. So as always, I remind you to share this show. Justin on Facebook Live says the pumpkin spice must flow. Guys, listen, unless we can have a low calorie version of a pumpkin spice latte, I can't start drinking those things. They're like 750 calories those things and 17 games. You guys, I'm trying to get out of football season without diabetes. That's how it goes. You are not out with Blaine today? No, I always do Titans radio with Blaine Bishop from 9 to 11 for home games, then 9 to 10 on road games, because obviously I'm traveling and got to get to a couple of different places. So I'll do Titans radio here in about an hour with Blaine and Mickey. But in the meantime, we have to talk about this game itself, and we will do that right after we get this thing started. Welcome into Titan Game Day Morning from the Superbook Sports Studios. I'm your host, Buck Rising. I'm proud, as always, to be presented to you by our friends at Two Rivers Ford. Since 1983, award-winning customer service and quality American-made Ford vehicles. That's what they have at Two Rivers Ford in Mount Juliet or online at tworiversford.com. The Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage, the number one RE/MAX team in the entire world. That's a thing. They won it, the Ashton team, because they have the intel edge unlike any other. You can get that intel at GaryAshton.com. And Superbook Sports, where you go to wager on all the action today, all the college football on Saturday, postseason baseball, hockey, whatever you like. Superbook Sports has the best odds, boosts, and promotions. So download the app today. So looking around at this game and kind of going through a couple of different things, you know how this works. We ask you for one key to success for the Titans to beat the Colts. I'm in Nashville from Mississippi, says Miko, to witness the Titans beat up on these My Little Ponies. Listen, you know, the more that I look at this game, the more that I think it's going to be a lot closer. It was a one-score game the last time these two teams played in week 4, but I think this figures to be a much more competitive football game where the Colts don't get run out of the building in the first half and have to climb their way back in. I think this is going to be tight throughout because the Colts are definitely better than the last time the Titans played them. And the Titans, I think they have some things figured out, but obviously, you know, I mean, they have clear and obvious deficiencies. So we're going to talk about those things together. So as we always do, give me your key to success for the Titans to beat up on, as Miko says, the My Little Ponies today. We will talk about it together. I will give you 3 keys to success. But first, let me start with one. The first key to success for the Tennessee Titans today is revolving around their ability to pressure the quarterback. We know this. The Colts' offensive line has been bad this season. We know this for a variety of reasons. We also know that for the first time in 6 weeks of football, Matt Ryan wasn't sacked last week against the Jaguars. They got the ball out quickly. They made some changes on the offensive line. They shuffled some things around, and they put in a familiar face to start for them at left tackle, who again will start for the Colts today, in Dennis Kelly. So the ability to pressure the quarterback is something that the Jags, with their it's not a better front than the Titans, but it is talented, and they have displayed some ability to disrupt several different quarterbacks throughout their first 6 weeks. But Jacksonville wasn't able to get any pressure with a 4-man rush on Matt Ryan, which caused them problems. Matt Ryan and the Colts were 10 of 15 on third down. So in order to get success, they have to be able to find that pressure. We'll see if they're able to do that. And you'll hear from Greg Cosell on that right after I remind you that Two Rivers Ford is the place that you go. 2023 model year Fords are available now at the dealership in Mount Juliet. You can go out to the dealership. It's just 6 or 7 miles east of Nashville International Airport. Real quick trip. You can go online to tworiversford.com and custom order your Ford the way that I custom ordered the Ford that is sitting directly in my backyard in my parking spot right now. Two Rivers Ford is the best. Their award-winning customer service and non-commissioned sales staff will not let you down. For over 40 years, Two Rivers Ford has been the best in the business. Go to tworiversford.com for more information. All right, Greg Cosell on the Colts offensive line that got shuffled in a good way as of last week.
Well, the Colts schedule, Greg, I don't know if you've looked at it, but they have one more AFC South game after this. They will have played 5 by the time we wrap this thing up. It's pretty weird this year.
They only have one more for the whole rest of the season?
Yeah, it's not until I believe their finale is Houston in week 18, which
wow.
play the Jags.
Wow. So they must have some tough games coming up.
Yeah. Well, they've been slugging it out here for a little while, and even with an offense that has struggled, it seems like they found a little momentum, a little bit of better pass protection. It seems with an in-game change at left tackle from the rookie Bernard Raymond to a familiar face around here, Dennis Kelly. It seemed like it's settled.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I watched that tape and I thought that the Colts offense, the pass game, of course, Matt Ryan dropped back a ton, and I don't know if we know about Jonathan Taylor or Naheem Hines yet for this week, but I did watch the Colts O versus the Jaguars D, and yeah, the pass protection was better. Kelly played left tackle. They moved Matt Pryor to right guard, which is probably a good move because Pryor is not really a tackle. And they tried Raymond. We saw him on Thursday night against the Broncos. He struggled mightily. Mm-hmm. And then after, I guess, 11 snaps this week, that experiment ended for now. Obviously, it was a fairly high pick, so they'll try that again at some point. But I thought their pass game was better. The interesting thing is Matt Ryan through 6 games is the second most blitz quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
And he's been sacked 9 times on blitzes, which is the second most in the league behind Fields. So, you can blitz him. Against the Jaguars, though, he was really, really good versus blitz. So that's just something to keep in mind as we look ahead to the game against the Titans.
Yeah.
So that's Greg Cosell talking about the changeup for the offensive line and what it helped Matt Ryan and the Colts do last week. Get to 2 more keys for success. We'll read a few of yours as well right after I remind you that the Ashton Real Estate Group of RE/MAX Advantage is also a presenting sponsor of Titan Game Day Morning. They also will get you the intel edge you need to succeed. We're doing Titans and Colts intel today. You go to GaryAshton.com. You get the best real estate intel in Middle Tennessee. Hands down. They're the official real estate agent of the Nashville Predators. They're the official real estate agent of me because I got my dream address without the stress through the Ashton team over 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. It's been a while, but all they've done is put me in a position to succeed. They'll do the same for you at GaryAshton.com. So keys to success. We need Bud, says Steven Rodriguez. We paid him a lot of money for games like this. Bud Dupree's going to play today. We'll see how much he ends up playing. I don't know what the extent of this hip injury is. Didn't really seem to bother him throughout the course of this week. The first time it happened, also against the Colts, Mike Vrabel really didn't expect it to be a long-term situation. So not great that it's nagging him, clearly, but for all intents and purposes, he's not expected to have any kind of limitations today. So we'll see if he can finish a game because that's not been an easy situation for him. And there's no question that he makes a clear and obvious difference when he is in the lineup with the rest of them. He gives them an extra dimension and frankly, just better depth, right? Weaver is a better 4 than he is a 2, right? And that, I guess theoretically he would be the 2 in this situation, and Bud Dupree's 1 because Ola is on IR with a neck injury. But still, the more bodies that you have to throw at a quarterback that are competent and capable, that would be beneficial to them. Randy Thomas is asking about Elijah Molden. He's not the only one today, but he's on IR, so nothing to say about that. He and Racey McMath both remain on IR. I think the other 2 keys to success for me, Jonathan Taylor is going to play today, as is Naheem Hines. So their rushing attack will probably be a little more prevalent. Matt Ryan dropped back 58 times against the Jags. One would expect that if Jonathan Taylor is to play, as he is expected to play, that he will get more of that workload. So the ability to stop the run, again, for the Titans, they held him to 2.1 yards per carry in the Week 4 game. If they are to have success today in stopping the Colts, that would be beneficial to be able to repeat or come close to that success. Defensively, turnovers. Get pressure and turnovers. Those are the keys to success against a team like the Colts, who Matt Ryan, if you get to him, he's shown that he'll fumble the football. Matt Ryan has talked several times about, Mike Vrabel has talked several times about their ability to impact the quarterback, not just by sacks, but by pressures, by hits, getting the arms up in the air when the quarterback goes to get a pass off like Tier Tart. You pop it up, you get an interception. Turnovers are critical. And then on top of that, you need to see them have more, capitalize on more offensive possessions. They've played one less game than 28 other teams. Remember, there's 4 teams who are on a bye this week. Titans were one of the 4 on the first week of byes last week. So this number is low, and we talked about it on primetime. But the Titans are 31st in the amount of offensive possessions that they've had on the season. Like I said, because there are teams who have yet to go through a bye, that number will level out a little bit, but it's still not great, right? They may have the best red zone offense in football, but they don't get to the red zone near enough. And that was something that Mike Vrabel talked about on Monday or Wednesday.
Typically regarded as the more difficult place to work. Getting there generally viewed as easier. You guys have kind of to flip that. How do you get there
more often? Yeah, get there more often and try to continue to score touchdowns. I think that's just, getting into drives. We've got to, when we're able to get into drives and again, complement the plays that we're running, we usually, more times than not, go down and make those scoring drives. Just too many 3 and outs. And, again, we've talked about this. You're going to have some X plays. You're going to have some third down conversions, and you're going to have to avoid the critical mistakes and the critical penalties. That's how you move the ball into the red zone.
So that is the situation for the Titans, and that is something that they will need to capitalize on today. Okay, let's do a best bet courtesy of Superbook Sports, and then I'll leave you guys for the meantime until I head over to Nissan Stadium right after this for some Titans radio work. The best bets are made possible by Superbook Sports, where you go to wager on all the action this football season. Superbook Sports is your hookup for football, baseball, basketball, every major sport. They will accept wagers on superbooksports.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. So this week's best bet, the Tennessee Titans are 2.5-point home favorites, and you can get them on the money line -140. That would be a 5th straight win for the Titans, which is a 5th straight win for the Titans over the Colts, a 4th straight win after starting the season down 0-2. So it is, it is an unlikely bet, but I do think that they have what it takes to beat Indianapolis, even as I think the Colts are a better football team this time around. Now, I think DeForest Buckner is going to factor into this. I don't think Derek's going to have near the success that he did in the Week 3 matchup as he was starting to round into form. It felt like, or Week 4 matchup. So I would say it's probably going to be a little bit of a different looking game, but I do think they're still a better team. I don't think they're much better than the Colts are right now, but I think they're good enough to cause some problems. And if you cause some problems today, you can sweep the Colts. You sweep the Colts. Your biggest threat left in the division is the Jags. The Jags are clearly shaky. So you have a pretty clear path to the AFC South title. And once you're in the postseason, then it's incumbent upon you to figure everything else out. That's going to do it for us on Titan Game Day morning. I'm heading over to the stadium right after this. Blaine Bishop, Titans legend, Mickey Ryan, and myself, we're going to be doing the League Company Countdown to Kickoff from 9 to 11 on Titans Radio on 104.5 The Zone here locally in Nashville. Have a great rest of your evening, or a great rest of your morning, I guess. Enjoy the football, and we'll talk to you tonight on 8.